Welcome everybody. Welcome to JM's Place. This is going to be a new feature on the SSN Rep in the 519 called What's in Your Glass. Now we did have a special guest that was supposed to be here tonight, could not make it, but we're going to go ahead and roll here with Tony. So Tony, let me ask you the question. When you're not drinking beer, what's in your glass?
You know what I love? A Bloody Caesar.
A Bloody Caesar. Well, it just so happens that I'm a specialist at Bloody Caesars. So what we have today is we have the main ingredients, Tabasco, Worcestershire, try to say that with a mouthful, and the secret ingredient, the keg horseradish, and Moisey's pickle juice. Moisey's is a steakhouse in Montreal right next to Schwartz Deli in the Jewish section of Montreal, and it has to have that real salty brine to really come up with the taste that you want. Of course, no bar is complete without citrus fruit. Always make sure you have some fresh citrus on hand and plenty of ice cubes if you're going to make a cocktail. Okay, so we're going to start now with the rimmer, and I like to use Matt and Steve's. It's got a nice texture to it. If you take a look at that, it's not just celery salt. There's plenty of other great things in there. Okay, so we just happen to have a Clamato glass here, so we'll take the Clamato glass. We're going to cut up a piece of this lime. And we're going to just put a little bit of moisture along the rim, like so. Spin it around in there, knock off the excess. You don't want too much of that stuff on there, just a little light flavor. And of course, be generous with the ice, okay? Now I did wash my hands for the record here, so we're gonna go ahead and reach my fingers in there. Tony, you don't care anyway, right? You pretty much had all of your vaccines?
Absolutely.
Okay. And plenty of ice, like I said, okay? So the most important ingredient in a Bloody Caesar is the vodka. Now, this doesn't have to be Grey Goose or Ciroc or any of those fancy vodkas. It can be any old vodka. As long as you're not draining it from a radiator of a car, you're going to be okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and make it 1.5 ounces of Absolut vodka. And we're going to drain a little bit of this pickle juice in there as well. It's actually, I like to use about the same amount of pickle juice. It gives it that nice briny flavor. Okay, we'll get this out of the way for you. And now we're going to put a dab of keg horseradish. I got the wrong knife for that. Just a second. There we go. A little bit of a radius there to scoop up about 1/4 teaspoon of that. Drop it in there. Worcestershire. You like a nice salty, pardon me here, I lost my, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Be generous, folks. A little bit of Tabasco. We're just going to go 1, 2, 3 because we got the horseradish in there. That gives it plenty of hot. And of course, the Canadian invention, Mott's Clamato. Now, a lot of people will go and buy the Walters and the Matt and Steve's and all the fancy Clamato juices. Not necessary, folks, because what's fancy is what's before the Clamato. All of that good stuff I just put in there. So we shake up the Clamato, make sure that it's well mixed. Top it off like so. Okay, now, like any other drink, we give it a little stir. Make sure that the good stuff gets mixed in. Okay, and a drink like this always needs a garnish. So as you can see here, we have this little garnish ready for Tony. And we insert the garnish. And there you go, sir.
Wow. This looks great. Oh, I love that. That is a good way to start a weekend.
All right, folks, we'll see you next week when we have our special guest, Paul Boots, coach of the St. Clair College men's and women's cross country team. See you then.